Huge exciting news to start your afternoon as a third stimulus package could get debuted tomorrow. And additional provisions of it could be leaked later today. It's been several weeks that we've been waiting to see the final draft of the third stimulus package bill. It is out there, it's just not been released to press. But I have a 30-page summary from the Biden camp that explains what's in there. And there's something in there whether you are hazard pay, small business, low income, or a family member with children. I'm going to go over all the incredible details because for each of the groups, in some cases, there's as many as 3 to 4 stimulus items that pays you thousands and thousands of dollars. It's all really exciting. With no less than 21 items, I got them all ready for you. Let's get ready to rock and roll on third stimulus check and third stimulus package. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so excited for you on a big afternoon as we await the third stimulus package bill. And while we don't actually have the written bill, it does exist. It hasn't been released to us, but I do have the 30-page summary of it. And in this recording, I'm going over that summary and how nearly every single viewer of this channel may qualify for 3 to 4 items on that list of relief in the third stimulus package. So if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that alert button, like this video. And if you've not become a member by clicking the join link in the pinned comment to this video, in the description, and up above, become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And you'll have access to documents before anyone else. In this video, I'll be going over one of those documents, which is a PDF from Monday. That PDF from Monday separated second stimulus and third stimulus items. I'll be going over the third stimulus items, and I'll also be going over another link that I sent members earlier today that explains how people who are not required to file tax returns often do file tax returns to get earned income credits. And those credits are in the third stimulus package and can pay you thousands of dollars. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that this channel is helping viewers really understand that when we're looking at the third stimulus package, there is things that come in a lot of different forms, and people from all different walks of life qualify for at least 3 and sometimes 5 items of stimulus for just each of the categories, and you may be in multiple categories. For example, if you are an individual who makes less than $49,000 a year and has a child, that you'll be in 2 categories that I'm going to cover. Or if you are essential worker, hazard pay, but also do Uber and Lyft on the side, you may be both business grants and also hazard pay. Let's get to the details. The details are, under the third stimulus package, you're going to see relief for different groups of people. The first group I'm going to go over are the families. The next group are people who have children. The next group I'm going to go over is low income. Then I'll go over people who are small business, like Uber and Lyft, Grubhub drivers. And finally, I'll go over the hazard pay people. If you have the PDF that is provided to members of this channel, follow along with me. I'll refer to the items on the list. Now, what you're going to see as I go through each of these categories is that you may likely be in more than one category. So the first category has 4 items of relief, and you're in 2 categories. You could potentially have 8 items of stimulus relief. You get all of them if you're eligible. It's not one or the other. So there's a lot of stimulus for you in this third stimulus package. All right, first, let's go over the families. The families, if you're a parent with a kid, let's just go over even a single parent with a kid. Single parent with a kid, you're going to get a stimulus check, $1,400. The child's going to get a stimulus check, $1,400. Stimulus check number 1. Next, if the child's school is closed because of the pandemic, and the child has to stay home, child's healthy, you're healthy, but you have to take off from work to stay home to take care of your kid, the federal government will pay you $1,400 a week up to. This is what's called paid sick leave on our list at item number 15. Paid sick leave is paid to 4 groups of people. 1, a parent who has to stay home because their child's school is closed. Parents fine, parents healthy, child's healthy, but the school's closed. Up to $1,400 a week. Next, parent has to stay home because they're sick because of COVID. Or, third category, parent has to stay home because they may have to quarantine. Even though they're totally healthy, they have to quarantine. Or finally, parent has to stay home because a family member else in the family has been afflicted with COVID. You have to take care of that child. Now, paid sick leave qualifies for anyone, whether you are a parent or not a parent. I'm just using the parent as example. Remember, 4 items. Child school's closed, or you have COVID, or you have to quarantine, or your family member has COVID, you have to take care of them. $1,400 a week. How's that calculated? Based upon a $73,000 annual salary, you will get $1,400 a week. If you made less than $73,000, then you'll get less than $1,400 a week, but you'll still get a lot of money. And this is just incredible. So that's item number 2 for parents. 1 was the stimulus check. Number 2 was the paid sick leave. Item number 3 for parents is the child tax credit. There's currently a child tax credit on the books. It's a law. The Biden third stimulus package proposes to revise it to increase the amounts, the payouts, so you get more money. If you have a child age 6 to 17, you will get $3,000 per child tax credits. And if you have a child 5 years or younger, $3,600 per child. Now, what is a tax credit? How does it work? And why should you file a tax return when you don't have to? I'll go over that later in this video. Let me give you the summary before I get to the details later in this video. If you are a person who's not required by law to file a tax return because you don't make enough money, you still voluntarily can to get this money. All right, parents and with kids have one more item, and that is the child care tax credit. That's up to $8,000. Imagine how much money I've already got to you, and we're only 6 minutes into this video. Child care tax credit. You could deduct. Now, the child tax credit is also on the books as a law, but Biden revises it and increases the amounts again. So he will pay you 50% of your child care costs, up to $4,000 for one child, or up to $8,000 for 2 or more children. Yes, this is just insane. $8,000 plus $3,000 plus a stimulus check plus staying at home. I just got you a lot of moolah. Okay, let's get to the next group. Next group, don't be jealous about the parents because you got moolah as well. All right, the next group is low income. Anyone that makes about less than $49,000 2019. This includes SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, could include veterans, and may also include Social Security recipients. All right, what are the items you're going to get? $1,400 as a stimulus check, unless you're an adult dependent. Then you'll get a $3,200 stimulus check. This is a lot of money. $3,200. It is retro because it does include unpaid past stimulus checks. That's why you would get more than a single individual. So $3,200 if you're adult dependent. Next item you get is free rent. Free rent. So there will be free rent under the third stimulus package. It will be much better than any other of the free rent programs I have covered on this channel. The last time you heard something this good on this channel for free rent was outside last summer when I was recording Rent at about 5 o'clock every day on this channel. The rent program under the third stimulus package will be a federal program. You apply for, you apply to, they pay your landlord. You don't have to worry about anything. It will be all automatic. There'll also be free utilities as well. You qualify for that, item number 3. So we got the stimulus check, the free rent, the free utilities, the free internet, and the free childcare if you have a child as well. Next, also SNAP. SNAP benefits. What's SNAP? Anyone that makes less than approximately $49,000 a year can get SNAP, which is free food. In Hawaii, it's about $1,400 for a family of 4 per month. The third stimulus package, Biden stimulus, will increase your SNAP benefits for an additional 6 months at 15% additional. You're currently getting a 15% increase under the second stimulus package for 6 months. Biden will give you 6 more months of that. So suddenly we're at 6 items for low-income families. That is a lot of items. Now, I'm going to go to hazard pay next, and hazard pay may cross over into any of those prior categories, just like low income may cross over into children. Let's say you're on low income, but you also have children. You are in 2 categories. Let's get to hazard pay. There's going to be 3 types of hazard pay under Biden's third stimulus. There's going to be public sector hazard pay, private sector hazard pay, and also a tax credit for low income hazard pay. Let me get to the last one first. Again, another tax credit. How does it work? There is currently this on the books. It's currently law, but again, it's being revised up under third stimulus by Joe Biden. It's called the Earned Income Tax Credit. It's a law, and it's going to be revised up under the proposal to $1,500 per person who works as a hazard pay worker and makes less than $21,000 a year. This is incredible, great news. Next, there's private sector hazard pay, and finally, public sector hazard pay. What's public sector hazard pay? It means if you're fire, rescue, ambulatory, your hazard pay will be paid to you by your city, state, or county. You don't have to do anything. They'll just have the money from the federal government, $300 billion of it, and pay to you. Then we have private sector hazard pay. This is big box retail. This is grocery. How much is the federal government going to do? Don't know. My guess, and this is only a guess, is that I think that the federal government's going to require certain industries to pay you hazard pay for a certain number of months. And they're going to have they're going to make it a federal law for the employer to pay you, that you won't have to apply for anything. If the employer's employing you, they got to pay for it. That's what I'm guessing will be how that will work. Last group is my business grants group. And after the business grants group, later in this video, I'm going to go over why you want to make sure you get ready to potentially file a tax return because of these things called tax credits. And yes, they apply to you. All right, business people. There will be 2 items of business that we will see in the third stimulus package. Business grants and business loans. They can be slightly different. The business grant sounds like it's going to be for existing businesses, and the business loan sounds like it will be to go start a new business. What's important to understand is that these are the things that you've been sort of asking me about, that you've been wanting to get. Second stimulus was supposed to give you this, and it's sort of not at the moment because SBA is just not doing it that way. So Joe Biden is going to come in and ensure that there's enough money for people impacted by the pandemic as business owners and enough for people who want to start a new business. Who is this? Well, starting a new business is anyone. Anyone. The applicant will be you, John Jones. Business grants means anyone that is Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Airbnb, sole practitioner, Schedule C on your tax return, or has a corporate financial or a corporate or LLC tax return. All right, now let's get to that big thing that people have been wondering about, that earned income tax credit, or that tax credit that I'm referring to. This is how it works. Under the federal law, you do not have to file a tax return if you make under a certain amount of money every year. The benchmark is different based upon your age. That is the only thing that determines whether you have to apply or not. Your age determines the income level. Under that, you are not required to file a tax return. Now, this has sort of been the earth-shattering news to viewers, is that if you're under that threshold, you still can file a tax return. Repeat, you still can file a tax return. You just don't have to file a tax return. Well, why would you voluntarily file a tax return when you don't have to? You know the answer. To get the tax credit. Because if you get the tax credit, tax refund. Yes, that's why you want to voluntarily file a tax return, to trigger a tax refund. I had one viewer say, are you telling me this has been around for a while and I've never been filing tax returns? I could have been getting this tax credit. That's why you watch me. Yes, these things are not new. This is just not jaw-dropping brand new stuff on a Thursday afternoon. It's been around just a little bit of time. Just the numbers are bigger now because that's what Joe Biden's doing. Ultimately, I'm not a tax preparer. You should consult and be advised by a tax preparer before making any decisions about your taxes. But what I want you to understand is that if you have already filed your 2020 tax return, or you're about to file your 2020 tax return, don't worry. Just watch and wait until we see this bill, and then we'll figure out what's going on. We don't know yet. It's not bill yet. It's not law yet. Finally, SSI and SSDI. You would be a standalone bill after this, and also the student loan debt forgiveness. You would be a bill after this. SSI and SSDI would have a three-prong approach: $200 a month, and then that benchmark and that new new lifetime increase, and then student loan forgiveness. That would be about $10,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. Moreover, we have a statement from Joe Biden's press secretary today that says he's going to do as many things as he can, a stimulus bill. But if he sees any sort of, rocky waters, turbulent tides, he will use his utmost authority to do it by executive order. And with that, thank you for joining me on Afternoons LALATE. It continues next with a live recording of Being a Mitch. Meantime, join me tonight with an addition to the overnight LALATE programming schedule. In addition to EIDL, which is important for you to watch to understand how to get a grant, and in addition to the overnight show on unemployment, I will be adding a show into the mix that explains how you get hazard pay, at least under what Nancy Pelosi wrote in the HEROES Act of May 2020. Stay informed, stay focused, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Go to the front channel, subscribe, hit that alert button, like this video, and become a member by clicking the member link at the top of this video, in the pinned comment, and also in the description. And with that, stay smiling and stay with LA for more.